Okay, I guess we're just going to go ahead and start. I did try to start this with a scheduled. Hey, KK friends. Hope you can hear me. Looks like there's nobody on from my side, but I do see a thing. Let me see if I can. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out, so bear with me. Hopefully, show chat. So, KK friends, hope you came back. I see 3 of you here. We are starting off on pizza. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a view. KK friends L, thanks for joining us, and Happy Chicks, thanks. Nice to see you. It is fairly chilly, about 30 something degrees Fahrenheit, pretty close to 0 Celsius. It is windy, I'm covering up my microphone a little bit. I'll answer that in just a second, Hobo Chowdhury. And we're gonna go down into town, but you can see that we had a couple days of snow, a couple nights of snow, days of rain, after some really warm weather. You can see the trees are all green, not all of them, but mostly green. So we're well into spring, but this is not really unusual to get this kind of weather in Montana. In fact, I had to leave early because I'd heard that there were a couple semis over in the pass and a couple lanes blocked, and so I left an hour earlier, and it turned out to be perfectly clear. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker, your virtual second live stream, so bear with me. I already messed up the scheduling aspect of it. That didn't quite work out. Chowdhury, the answer is not so many van dwellers, but vehicles. And they use those for going out and adventuring, doing road trips, that sort of thing. Walking London, welcome. Thanks so much for saying that. It is a beautiful morning. The snow it's hard to not be beautiful. Although by May, 20th or 21st, we're kind of ready for the snow to be gone here. Now that I'm out of the wind a little bit. Haha, nice one, Ordo. I'm having a hard time reading the background of this. Ordo Bravus, welcome. Yeah, it seems a little bit like Christmas, doesn't it? Except for the greenery on the shrubs. And it's a little sad. I hope we don't lose too many flowers. A lot of our fruit trees and lilacs have been out. And hey, Palo Pill, nice to meet you. Welcome. You can see some flowers on that. I'm not sure what kind of tree that is. A lot of lilacs out, a lot of fruit trees, cherry trees, apple trees, plum trees. We have an apple tree blooming in our backyard, and it's absolutely beautiful. Here's some flowers. I'm not sure what kind of flowers these are. If you know, tell me. Hey, Mac. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. CRH4, welcome. I was chatting with a couple guys up here just a minute ago. They were walking their dogs. This is an off-leash dog park up here. I know, and they were talking about the gimbal. It is slippery on this mud. And he has a gimbal similar, and he started his own. He's starting his own channel, Yellowstone Now. He doesn't have anything up yet, so keep an eye out for that. Anyway, it was interesting to see. I'm sort of getting around to saying that I'm a little self-conscious about having this whole camera rig out and filming in front of people, especially since I know people over here that may not know that I have this channel. And well, I don't know. I don't know why I'm self-conscious. I was thinking about that on the way as I walked up the hill here to get ready. I'm thinking about how who am I to do this? But it reminded me of the story of when I was thinking about moving out here and thinking about getting into filmmaking, and conferring with a coworker, Diane, and I'll always remember what she said. I was thinking who am I to make movies? This was in 2002. And she said, why not you? And hearing someone else say that really validated my desires to do this and enabled me to do that. So thank you, Diane. I always remember that. Mark, welcome from England. Whereabouts in England are you? We love the UK. Been over there several times and would love to get back as soon as possible. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, please let me know in the chat. I can sort of read it when it's not against the snow, and I'd be happy to answer whatever questions I can. I don't know everything, but I do know a fair amount about Bozeman. For instance, we are coming down from Pete's Hill Park, and I'm going to pan here. I've heard this hill called Brokeback Hill because it gets icy as heck when people sled on it, and then it comes down and they hit these bumps and you just pound yourself. So it's one of the sledding places in Bozeman. And can you guys hear me? I assume you can hear me. I'm sitting here yakking. Let me know in the chat if you can. I have no way of monitoring the audio at the moment. Also, since you guys are here, I'm going to show you me. There we go. So this is what I actually look like. Excellent. Thank you so much, Walking London. I know I don't really show myself on these videos, so I'm going to go back and show you the road again. A little extra bonus for you guys. There we go. Oh, and I'm going to cut this way, actually, towards downtown. It really is not even colder. We got a family riding their bikes down here. Sort of idyllic scene. Got a road speed indicator here, keep people slow. Thanks, Happy Chicks. Thanks for all you guys. Yeah, it is a pretty clean and well-ordered town. There's a lot of people moving in, a lot of money moving in. They can afford for the services and that sort of thing. So they keep it pretty nice because they can. This over here to the left is Bogart Park, and they'll have concerts occasionally out sometimes, and then in the summer it's also, particularly under that big arched building, they have the farmers market, one of the farmers markets in town, all summer. I'm going to cross here. This is Church Avenue. To our left it'll go out towards the mountains south, and to our right it goes to the north side and Main Street. You can see some of these houses are quite nice. And there's sort of a design aesthetic here that's sort of modern cabin in a lot of parts of Bozeman. I really like it. Then we'll have a swimming pool up here, and one of the fun things about this pool is at the end of the season, at least in past years, the last day of the pool season, they'll open it up for dogs, and you can bring your dog and they just go nuts swimming around in the pool. It's a fun little community, unique community thing that they do. Pretty cool. Sorry about that wind. It really wasn't windy at all until I started, about 5 minutes before I started this. Again, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments section. This is my second live stream, I mentioned that, and I'm still figuring stuff out. I had scheduled this, I created a scheduled video, and then when I went to start it via Prism, which is a software, it said it's no longer valid. So I had to quickly adjust and change the description and the title. It looks like some of you guys found it. 16 of you, fantastic. I think I said on my other live stream from Livingston how thrilled I am to be able to interact with you guys, and to that you guys are tuning into this and are interested. So I talked about the pool. I'm going to pan us slowly over here. Here's what it looks like before it opens, of course. It's a community pool, public pool. Oh, it is a little bit after 10 a.m. local time. Thanks for asking, Walking London. And it's between 32 degrees and 35 degrees, I would guess. Doug, good to see you. I'm not sure what you mean by 13 seconds long. Should be 13 minutes. Hopefully we're not having technical difficulties here. This is Curtis and Church, if you are keeping track on a map. I can't read your name. Mayor, I don't think I will be getting all the way up there. It's sort of off to my left and sort of to the southwest of me right now, about a mile or so. I have done a walk through the campus that was pre-recorded if you'd like to check that out. Great to hear it, Eddie Adventure. Thanks for joining us. If you guys would like an MSU live stream, I'd be happy to do that another day. And who knows where this walk will take us. Oh, Doug, yeah, that was probably my first attempt that didn't go so well. Sorry about that. Again, I am trying to figure this out. This is a nice house here. Yeah. Ladum. I can't read that. I've got white text, Ladmob. Thank you so much. I've got white text against the snow. It's hard to read sometimes. Well, thank you so much, Happy Chicks. Someone once said, I thought this was so great, so flattered. They called me the Bob Ross of walking videos. And I feel a little awkward saying that, self-promoting, self-congratulatory, but I just thought that was great. Yeah, it really is a nice part of town. This is sort of the south side. Not quite in where the big houses are, but pretty close. Those are kind of over towards Wilson and west of there. But yeah, this part in the central area is pretty well kept. Not overly organized, or it's not like a subdivision. Oh, thank you so much, Lad Mom. I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. Very cool. That's my first one. There are a lot of subdivisions. In fact, I was thinking about that today. You know, there's only so much of Bozeman that's actually interesting. It's not a huge city, although it's getting bigger every day. But there's a lot of sort of suburban style subdivisions, a lot of uniform houses, that sort of thing. Coming up on Babcock, which is a one-way street pointed east. Traffic travels east. And off to our left, we've got the Bowl, which is our bowling alley. Not ours, theirs, I guess. I don't live here anymore. And I'm gonna cross. Hopefully I don't get run over. Let me see, somebody. Sorry, I'm reading Mayor's comment. Wait for this car to pass. Yeah, I'd love to do a live stream of CU. Very cool campus. I think that's the one in Boulder, right? Amazing campus, big campus. Not planning on being down there anytime soon, but if I head back down to Colorado, I will definitely try to fit that in. Thanks for the request. Here you can see, I think this is an apple tree maybe. Could be a cherry tree. Look at those flowers. Let's see that. Yes. Yeah. Sort of reading some of the comments here. Hey Doug, I'd love to go back to Golden. That was a pretty cool town. And I didn't even know the Railroad Museum was really there, I don't think, at the time, until I started walking. Of course, until your comments. This building here, this big one, I think has been finished within the last year. And looks like there's a couple diners in there, Little Star Diner and then Vienna. Looks like a coffee shop, artisan bread and French pastries. I might have to stop there later. So we've got come in here the last 3 or 4 years. The growth here is just phenomenal. It's one of the fastest growing places in the Rockies. And I know I talk about that a lot, but it's true. Yes, Doug, it just snowed here. It snowed last night and the night before after being beautifully sunny week. This is Wallace. On the other side of these buildings, these warehouses, old warehouses, is the library. Straight ahead is Montana Ale Works. Yeah, it really is a cozy town. That's a good word for it. Here's Lockhorn Cidery, one of the first cideries in town. Hi, Eli. Welcome. And they make some really nice sipping cider. I didn't think I'd be into cider, but it's nice to just sip on. Ale Works has been around forever. Kind of one of the more popular places. They've got good food, good drinks, lots of space. If you come to visit Mayor, check that out for food. I'll try to point out a couple other things. We're coming up on Main Street here. This, I'm going to show you something here in a minute. Hey Tom, nice to see you. So there aren't really communities between Livingston and Bozeman. There's housing areas, places people have built, but it's really just the pass. I guess the closest thing would be Jackson Creek. And you know, property prices are so expensive here right now that it's hard to even think about that. This is an old grocery store. It's called Heeb's. They sold this and built a new place to the east right as you come off the highway. Actually haven't been in there yet. So to answer your question, Tom, further, there really isn't any community between us. 30 miles. You go over Bozeman Pass and through a canyon. Not a lot of places to build. Natively from Bozeman or Montana, fewer and fewer people are. I've lived here since 2003. I lived over between Great Falls and Missoula when I was from 1 till 6, and then we moved away. I'm originally from Ohio. Welcome there, and good company. Welcome from Oklahoma. For the second, welcome to you as well. This is wonderful. Okay, I'm going to give you a little local knowledge too. The Shine across there on Church Avenue, the Shine Beer Sanctuary, and the bottle shop next door, La Pa Grill, used to be the Garage, a restaurant that was modeled and themed after a garage that used to be there. And the black part was a single story thing that sold clothing. It had a soup bar and great food connected to La Paria Grill, which was a local burrito shop that's been around forever. And then across the way, yeah, snow, last 2 nights, is the Western Cafe. You'll see a line out the door there. It's a tiny little breakfast and lunch place. People love it. Apparently they have amazing cinnamon rolls. I've never actually had one. And as we get past this semi, we'll see a sign for Bridger Bowl, 16 miles, and that's the road to the ski area, which is actually a non-profit. Ambient Walking, so good to see you. Longtime friend. Welcome, I'm doing great, thank you. Glad to see you join us. The Montana Angler is a fly fishing shop. Fly fishing, of course, in Montana is a big sport and industry and tourist draw. And the Old Bozeman Hotel, Montana OC. Really glad to hear it, Dan. Hi, Star. Montana OC. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not quite hip enough to know some of these abbreviations. The Montana Hotel is now offices up high, I believe. I don't think anybody lives there. And then down below there are a couple bars and restaurants, including Tarantino's Pizza Shop, Pub 317, and the Pour House, I think it is. Off to the right there. See if I can get a better shot. And this is Rouse. Rouse will go all the way out towards Bridger Canyon and the Bangtail Mountains and Bridger Bowl and Sacagawea Peak. I hope to do a walk up Sacagawea Peak at some point. We're going to see a little park here off to the left with an old mural. I just realized, sorry about the pan, that we have these scooters now, Bird scooters. I'm not sure when they arrived, and I haven't used them here. Used them in other places, of course. Park, the snow is making the exposure a little tough here. The population of Bozeman has changed quite a lot, and I think it's 40 to 50,000. Dano, we're going to go down to Idaho next, and then down to Flaming Gorge. I don't know if I'm going to film there or not. Brad, it's not quite winter. You can see the flowers here, but it's not unusual to get a big snow in May. It's unpleasant, but not unusual at all. Joe, welcome. Thanks so much. This is the Nova Cafe, another great place to eat breakfast. Usually you'll see a lot of people waiting outside. And then across the way is Open Range. I haven't actually eaten there, but apparently it's pretty good. Wind. All right, Montana Gift Corral across the street. They do locally themed gifts and that sort of thing. The Main Street Market building is built that was an empty lot for years after they had a natural gas explosion here. Thankfully, it only killed one person. It's horrible to say, but it could have been a really bad. Thank you so much, Happy Chicks. I agree. They're pretty cool. Dan, you sound like you're a local. Are you from Bozeman? Here's the Mackenzie River Pizza Company. I believe it's the original. Great pizza. Great for family dining, that sort of thing. Tom Seeley, absolutely. I would love to go up there. It's, Montana, everything's far, so a 6-hour, 10-hour drive isn't that big of a deal. I mean, it's a day, but somebody's playing music out there. Rocking Our Bar. They've been around forever, been rebuilt at least once, and they got into a little trouble this past year for refusing to close when the pandemic regulations specified that they needed to close by, or restricting access. So there was some lawsuits and heavy words, I think. All right. Dan, just a very regular visitor. It's a great place to visit. Adele, so nice to see you. You're one of my longest viewers. Thank you so much. Welcome. I'd love to go to Korea someday. Good company. Thanks so much. Welcome. Okay, across the way is Bangtail Bikes and Skis. You can see the horse rearing up there. That used to be an Army surplus store, and Bangtail moved in there quite a few years ago now. And they sell a lot of cross-country ski gear and bikes. Although there's some that I've been in there. I've been searching around for a couple for my wife and son, and no luck so far. So this is Bozeman Avenue that we're going to cross. Okay, Blackbird Cafe, fantastic food, fantastic dining. If you ever get a chance, check them out. Rice is a local Thai food restaurant. Pretty good. If you have any other questions, let me know. Oh, thank you so much, Ordo. It's all fun and games until somebody fact checks me. Okay, over there's the Crystal Bar. It's a famous, infamous bar here in town. And they are one of the few places, until recently at least, that had a rooftop bar. And you could have a beer outside. What else? This antique shop has always been fun. Lots of old Western type stuff. They've been around forever. The Great Rocky Mountain Toy Company, a great little toy store, local toy store. Across next to that, there's a C on the window. I don't know if you can tell that. That's, I think it's called the Copper Whiskey Bar. And also Sweet Chili Restaurant, which is an Asian fusion restaurant. It's a pretty cool bar downstairs at the Copper. Okay, that corner across the way is Schnee's. That's how it's pronounced, as far as I know. And they sell upscale outdoor wear. So a lot of sheepskin jackets. You see Duckworth, that's a wool company from over in the Centennial Valley and Dillon area. And they do sheep to shelf. Pretty cool idea there. Tom, yes, Bozeman is very supportive of local artists, as is Livingston. No, the snow in downtown. I'm trying to keep the lights walking. I'm gonna just pause here for a minute. They get it clear, and it's really pretty warm for snow still. I'm surprised as much was up on the trees and park as it is. Anyway, Schnee's has been around for at least 20 to 30 years. And you can see the old sporting goods sign above that. All right, to my left here, sorry for the pan, is the Co-op downtown, the Co-op healthy, organic and natural foods, and just a little bit higher end food from that. Plonk. All right, so right there. Plonk is a wine bar, and they have food and a back deck, which is really actually nice in the summer. Pretty shady, and they've got vines growing and that sort of thing. Jung, I actually live over in Livingston, which is 30 miles to the east, over the Bozeman Pass, right on the Yellowstone River. I don't live on the river, but the city is on the river. Thanks for asking. I see a Lululemon store over there. That's fairly new. We're getting more of these as Bozeman grows. What else do I see? We've got some yoga. Rockford Coffee, that's a locally owned coffee shop. They've sort of jumped around. They used to be about a half mile straight ahead, and also they had a second site behind me, and now they're down to this one. Let me see, what else? Athleta, there's another mainstream retail shop that's arrived fairly recently. Berg Law Firm building, that stone building has been around forever. I say forever, but it's not literally forever. So this is Tracy Avenue that's crossing Main here. So the yellow building you see there is the restaurant, fantastic food. They've been around for at least 20 years. Well more than that. I'm going to cross here. Office in this building, actually. Now it's Cello Design Art in the main area. And now we're going to get into a couple theaters that I want to talk about. First of all is Vargo's Jazz City Books. Books if you're into that sort of thing, which we are. And great people in there. Then you've got the Rialto, which used to be a movie theater. Before that, it was probably something else. Now they've redone this, and I can't remember the name of the company. It might be Think Creative, but they've done a really great job. In just a minute, Mohammed, of restoring this and making it a music venue. I haven't been inside because I don't do much music, live music with kids. And then across the way is the Ellen Theater, which has also been redone recently. And that's more of they do show movies, but it's more of a classic old stage theater. It's fantastic inside, really cool. And then across the way you can see a crowd of people. That's, I believe, waiting to get into Jam, which is a breakfast place. I'm gonna step around this construction and hopefully I won't get run over. If I time it right. So this is Wild Joe's Coffee Shop, and they have great coffee. They've of course adjusted to the pandemic situation. Mohammed, the rules have been significantly relaxed here regarding all the pandemic restrictions. Masks, I believe, are no longer required in Gallatin County, nor are they required in Park County. My policy is if they have a sign out asking, my personal policy, if they have a sign out asking me to wear a mask, I'll wear a mask. The Country Bookshelf is a local bookstore and fantastic resource here. You can go in, the staff there knows so much about books. If you have questions or want suggestions or that sort of thing, they are gonna be able to help you. Love to support our local bookstores. Just behind that white van is Cactus Records, which is you don't really see record stores anymore. So it's kind of cool. They've got records, music, and sort of novelties, I guess. Mare, yeah, it used to be predominantly a college town. Now it's more of a regular city in the sense that they've got a lot of other industries, several tech companies, a lot of construction companies, tourism-based companies, a lot of people that work remotely. Revolver is sort of a hipster retail store. Yeah, it is good to see that our COVID rates have gone down considerably, and I think if people act responsibly, we don't need restrictions, in my own personal opinion. People wear masks or don't wear masks. If they don't wear them, then it's risky, in my opinion. All right, so about enough about that. Burger Bob's is a burger shop. Been around, again, at least since I've been here. They serve burgers. I don't know what else to tell you about that. Here's Alera. They do great jewelry. In fact, I had my wife's engagement ring designed there and built there. So they did a great job on that, in my opinion. The cannery is owned, the cannery right there. Sorry about all the panning. Yeah, exactly, Eddie. The Cannery Lounge is a bar. I don't know what to say. It's sort of just a bar. This is the Baxter Hotel, and it's very well known around town, and everybody knows about the Baxter. They're down in the winter. There's powder up at, and then down at the base there is the only Ted's Montana Grill in Montana. At least it was for a long time. And off to the left is Marcus Pub, great little Irish pub, owned by the daughter of a friend of ours over in Livingston. I forgot who said it. Has Happy Chicks, what's that jam? If you're referring to the restaurant, it's a breakfast restaurant. I've eaten there once. It's pretty good. And I don't know what else to tell you. I'm going to cross over. Hopefully I won't get run over. It's always a bit of a risk. Okay, here we have an outdoor store called Chalet Sports. High-end outdoor gear, downtown prices. Let me see. Hopefully not panning too quickly. Okay, cool. We're coming up on the Lark. What's my favorite microbrewery in Bozeman? There's 10 or 12 of them here, Tom, and I would say Map. Oh wait, that wasn't Tom. That was, Tom Summer, not Tom Seeley. I just like their beer, and they have a great location. They could have a little more parking, but otherwise, that's my fave. Ad L. Bozeman's known for the university and for also maybe being sometimes referred to as Bosangeles, or the Bozone. A lot of outdoor recreation and being right in the mountains. Hey Ross, how's it going, man? Good to see you. That hotel, the hotel really does stand out. I'm getting behind on my comments. Good to see you tuning in, Ross. I appreciate it. This is the Lark Hotel. It's a really cool mid-century modern hotel designed by the same people that redid the Rialto, or some of the same people. I'm going to show you that in a second, but Tom asked about breweries. The Bozeman Spirits Distillery and the brewery next door, I think it was like White Dog Brewery, known for sort of having this pinup model type advertising, which is not my favorite. Is Bozeman expensive as Boulder? It is insanely expensive to buy property here. I'll let this pass here. The median home price went from, I think it was $400,000 in 2019 to over $700,000 in the past 18 months. Oh, Chad, nice. Sorry we missed you. Hope you had a good time here. You probably had good weather. So this is sort of the Lark Hotel. This has been set up as an ice cream stand, and they sell great little ice cream. I love the design of this hotel. You can see the wood out there, and the angles are very mid-century. It used to be kind of a dive motel, Yes, Tom, very busy. Yellowstone is already busy, and my wife's actually going to go down, and she's working with Gardner to do some sort of informational videos about how to be responsible there, because they are just overrun with people, and it's a tiny little town that is not really prepared or doesn't have the resources to handle the crowds for just 90 days a year. And people get a little frustrated about having to wait in line at restaurants. They also had a fire that burned down a couple restaurants, so there's even less than there was, unfortunately. Saigon Scenes, good to see you, man. I love your videos too. If you guys haven't checked out their stuff, please do. This is Grand Avenue, Wells Fargo Bank. We're going to walk up a little bit further, and then we're going to cut over. So this is Main Street. It becomes Huffine Lane as it continues west out of town. Brewery hopping, maybe. They're kind of spread out, actually. There's some downtown, but and there's a couple little pockets, but Bozeman isn't as walkable as I would like it to be. They're doing a really great job as they expand to include bike lanes and pedestrian paths, but a lot of the Map Brewery is not walkable for sure, and it's out by the Bozeman Pond. I think this is the Catholic Church. But there are some bars and stuff, a lot of bars and stuff downtown. So to provide affordable housing to Montana. I'm going to say no, Tom, about the housing. Individual communities are struggling with this problem, and they're working on it. But it takes a lot of money, and when a median home price is $700,000, it takes a lot of money. Okay, here's a courthouse and county building. This is where a lot of people come to protest when they have demonstrations, and you get your driver's license there, or you used to get your driver's license. I don't think you do that anymore. And that sort of thing. Then you've got the little brick building with the crenellations is the Gallatin History Museum, a great little museum if you get a chance to do that. And so I would recommend that if you come to visit. Is Welker Farms? Welker Farms is. I haven't heard of that. Yeah, it is. We just had 2 days of snow. Before that, we had 80 degrees. And in a week or so, it'll be back up in the 70s. Live in a heavenly area. Oh, well, thank you so much, Tom. Thank your wife as well. I love doing the nature walks and sort of trying to figure out what people most want, balanced with what I want. This is an old school that has been changed into high-end condos. I'm a fan of these. Really cool stuff. The statue is of Malcolm Story, and he was a big name in Montana history. I recently read a book called I always get the title wrong, A Decent, Well-Ordered Lynching, about the Vigilantes. And it mentioned how, I think he was a cattle guy. I don't know if he was involved with the Vigilantes, I can't remember, but there's Story Mansion, there's Story Mills, there's Story Street, there's his name's all over the place. This is Wilson School. Pretty sure it's no longer a school, but they do have a theater inside and community offices and that sort of thing. I'm going to pan over to give you another shot of the History Museum and its wonderful old spruce trees in front of it. It's really a tiny little museum, but as I said, well worth it. All right, I said I was going to cut over, and I'm going to. Up here, next block, promise. Yeah, it is, thanks. Hi there. One of the things I love about Montana, even with all the new folks moving into town, is how pleasant most people are and friendly. Especially people who have been here a while, value the community aspect of it, and they'll help. And they're just fairly welcoming people. Here's Shelby. I'll have to check them out. We are nowhere near Shelby. We are 6 hours from Shelby, actually, I believe. But I'm interested in that YouTube channel. I'm going to have to check that out. Thanks for saying about it. Yeah, guys, it really is a beautiful place, and it's one of the reasons that Bozeman has been on so many best places lists over the years. This is 5th Avenue, sorry. Pardon my sniffles. And there's a lot of access to the outdoors. It's a beautiful place. We're near Yellowstone. We've got trout rivers. We've got 2 ski resorts, one of which is, I think, like the top 5 in total acreage. We've got cross-country skiing, hunting, and I mentioned fishing. So it really is a great place to live. It is expensive, redonkulously expensive. Coming up on Babcock again, and we're going to make a left here. This is sort of getting into the south side neighborhood with the classic older homes. You can see kind of a barn-hipped roof building there. Off to the right, not too far, is a little backpacker hostel. And off to the left, as we go down, back past the Wilson School, heading east again. Yes, they do. In fact, this year, I don't know if it's because I'm part of a Facebook group called Bozeman Hill Road Conditions, but there have been tons of wrecks this year. In fact, they shut the highway down this morning. So please don't think you can come out here and do 100 miles an hour. We do have speed limits again. It used to be reasonable and prudent, but no longer. You forbid Chicago. Hold on, we're commenting. I'm losing my comments. I think you mentioned you lived out east for a bit. Was where I was born and lived for a bit, and I just wanted to come back out. I lived in DC for a couple years, and it just was not my kind of place, my kind of culture. So I wanted to come back out to Montana. I'd lived in Missoula and out in Ovando for 5 or 6 years as a little boy. And I wanted to come out and go fishing and hiking and do all the fun stuff that everybody else wants to do when they come out here. And so I did. Kamyar, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but welcome. Thanks so much. Iran is one of the places I would love to visit someday. Love the fact that you guys have cheetahs and those beautiful mountains. Zhang Thum Joe, I would love to see you. I hope you have a great time in your trip to America. It is a big place, and you'll have lots to see here. I think this is 4th Avenue that the mail truck just was going down. I'm gonna cross over. And we're coming up on hello from LA. Hello, Juan. Nice to see you. Welcome. Thanks so much. And I guess we're gonna go this way because it's more interesting. This lawn here they have in the summer. This year or not. I'm forgetting the name, but basically they'll have music, and you can bring your lunch out and eat lunch. And it's great, fun thing to do. The Emerson itself is for the arts, I think, and they have studio space and office space for artists and nonprofits. They have a ballroom, and they have a theater where they do dance type stuff and films and plays and all sorts of stuff. Tom, I would say, depending on where you live, there is a lot of variability in Montana with the weather. I think the price and distances are a big one. And for Livingston, it's the wind by far in the winter. The cold you can dress for, you know. You don't have bad weather, you just have bad clothing. And so I think honestly the price and the weather would be the tops. Maria, I will tell you what it feels like to have snow as we see these cool sculptures here. It's disappointing a little bit because it's not the kind of snow that you can get out and really ski on unless you get up high. Makes the trails muddy, and after 6 months of it, we're ready for some sunshine and some grass and flowers and warmth. Personally speaking, you can certainly ski here if you go into the backcountry and get up high well into the summer. So I don't mean to say that you can't ski on snow. We need the snow as well. So in that sense, it's welcome because it adds to our bank of water for the year. And we need that water to keep tamp down fire season, for irrigation of crops, and to float in fish. Hey Dan, thanks so much for dropping by. So glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for your wonderful comments about your experiences here in Bozeman. Have a good one. Grand Avenue. And I think we are going to keep on going. Well, there's a bike shop. I haven't checked for bikes yet. So we're on Babcock here, and we've got a couple churches and some other interesting businesses that I am not as familiar with. There's, what am I thinking? I thought there was a design shop in here. Well, that's further down. That's another block. Hello there, Scarcely Jumpy. And Dean Baird, welcome. Oh, wow. Congratulations, Dean. I hope you will enjoy it. I'm sure you will. And it's a great place to live. It's a great place to recreate. And welcome. All right, we're coming up on Wilson, and I didn't call that out earlier, the street name. It's a major thoroughfare, north-south. It will take you out to the Museum of the Rockies. Adele, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate all your support over the last few years. I really do. Thanks so much. And I missed another one here. Cody. What can I tell you about Cody? I've only spent a weekend in Cody. If you just looking back here is the Cannery Lounge and stuff. I know Cody is a gateway town, so it has a lot of tourism there. That valley into the park from going west out of Cody is absolutely stunning. Yeah, Adele, for sure. Everybody be safe out there. So, you know, they've got some great museums. They've got the summer activities like the rodeos and a lot of wonderful mountains there. It's dry for sure, so keep that in mind. What do we got? First Presbyterian Church here. It's not really exposing very well. Montana Design Shop right there. And then we get into kind of this warehouse look. North 27th. Trying to think of North 27th, where they'd be. I used to be off of Durston. I used to live off of Durston at 23rd. Off of 23rd. So that's only a couple blocks down. That seems like it's probably a good area. To the north, yeah. There's a print shop in here. This, I don't know what they're doing here. They're doing some construction on this building. It used to be subsidized housing for people with disabilities. I'm not sure what the deal is with it now. Rose Park. I'm trying to I think that might be the new area, Dean. I'm not as familiar with that. So I'm wondering if it's out past out near Target and Costco and that sort of place. In which case, Outlaw Brewery is out there. That's a good brewery. Forgot to mention them. So this is the HRDC building as we cross Tracy, and here's the federal building. Forest Service is in there, a lot of other federal agencies. And again, down that way is a couple cute dogs, but also a very nice part of town, neighborhood. Look at these flowers, aren't they amazing? All right, so over here to the left is Owen House Ace Hardware. Been there again for years and years. And as we go around this garage area where I think they do small motor repair and storage, is their Owen House Bike Shop, and they have a lot of high-end mountain bikes and street bikes and stuff. Sorry, I'm gonna just show that sign real quick. And where are we at? There we go, Owen House Cycle Lean. Sorry, twisting my words around. Coming up on Black Avenue. So I think that I haven't seen really before, but I also want to tell you about this apartment complex off to the left. I think this is the one. It was my understanding that it was the owner needed to sell it or wanted to sell it. And rather than selling it to the highest bidder, he worked with a local nonprofit to sell to them for affordable housing, affordable local housing and apartments. So I highly applaud that. Apparently he could afford to do so, or she could afford to do so. And I'm so glad that they did that. It's good to see that people are sort of thinking about community, not just profit margins when they can. Tom, I don't know the answer to that. I don't spend a whole lot of time over in Bozeman anymore. I know in Livingston, it's a challenge if you're trying to buy a house. There's just not a lot on the market. Anything that goes on the market gets snapped up almost immediately. Sight unseen often, which is a real roll of dice in Livingston. One with a Ghost Town Coffee, and they do coffee roasting as well down here in the base. This new one is beautiful, as is this classic brick one that I was talking about and referring to. I would say there's probably a lot of people that really welcome all the newcomers because they mean more business, more construction, more opportunities. Until you get out to the trailheads and the rivers, and then I think that probably flips around a little bit because there's so many more people recreating on our public lands, and that's what public lands are for. So it's a weird thing, right? We all want to protect the public lands. We don't always want to share the public lands. About being able to find an apartment in Bozeman, and glad it worked out. Yeah, me too, Dean. Tom, what is EH? I'm not sure about EH. Oh, tech. I think a lot of people are working remotely. There is, of course, Oracle bought out Gianforte's company, which can't remember. Light on my head. A lot of people work remotely. There's a company called Zoot, and there are a lot of other tech small startups. There's a tech center out towards the university. Oh, it smells wonderful, you guys. I'm going to show you these lilacs too. You can smell kind of the trees and the grass and the shrubs. I love lilacs, at least when there's not snow on them. We've got some big ones at our house. Yeah, there's that dichotomy, right, of we want other people to share, but we don't always want to share ourselves. But that's part of being in a society and part of being a community, in my opinion. Look at these beautiful tulips. Hopefully they'll last through this snow. Lovely little garden these people have put up here right near downtown. Look, I think is that blue, are those blue flowers lupin? My wife would know that. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go back down to Maine and I think cross over. Oh, lilacs are fantastic. My wife cut some flowers the other day and put them on our kitchen sink, and just lovely, lovely scent and smell. Just perfumes the whole place, as are the apple trees and the plum trees. Fantastic smells. All right. Oh, this is interesting. This used to be a dry cleaners over here. Rosemary. Pedestrian walk. I'm interested which town it was. I know East Glacier is a beautiful area, and certainly Whitefish is beautiful as well. Oh, beautiful. I bet that was a wonderful train ride. I'd love to do that. My aunt did that last summer. Said it was fantastic. Yeah, Dean, well, that's Montana. I was talking to somebody yesterday about how a lot of places like Chicago and Midwest say, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. A friend of mine once said, in Montana, if you don't like the weather, toughen up. It's Montana, and that's just the way it is. And wouldn't be surprising to get to above 100 this summer. You'll get 20 below, 30 below some winters, and it's a lot of variation. Oh no. Have I ever... Rosemary, sorry I cut out there. Can't remember exactly, other than I was saying something about East Glacier being so beautiful and Whitefish as well. The Empire Builder, yes, fantastic line. I'd love to ride that from Chicago out to Seattle. Oh, fantastic, Tom. I hope she has a great run and doesn't get too cold. Yeah, Kalispell is absolutely understand. I don't know as much about that because I don't go up there much. I know that Radiant Travels is now Radiant Realty, this gal that has quite a lot of stuff. Issues with white nationalism up there. Made a lot of national, very unfortunate behavior. part of certain people. Yeah, not living up there, I can't really speak to much of national attention about and really some racist stuff. So yeah, I've seen that, Rosemary, and they do a great job. I've seen a couple of their videos. From the we're coming up on Mendenhall. I mentioned at the very beginning of the east one way, right, and in fact I don't remember seeing it before, so we're gonna head west. I'm going to show you this old building. I don't really know what it is right now. Which specifically ones says my internet connection is unstable. Hopefully I didn't miss your comment. Sure, it says I think at hour 7. Okay, everybody, I want to thank. I think the connection is bad, so I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you all for joining. Come back next time, and we're going to try and do more live streams. Guys, we'll see you later. Bye. And bye, guys.